Today we're analyzing a shot where Shane seems to break the rules of pool. He nails a great position on the 7 ball, but here's where things get controversial. Well, one of the biggest rules for position play is coming into the line of your next shot. Shane does the unexpected, he decides to completely cross the line. And this means he needs more precise speed control. So why did he do that? Well, to answer this question, you need to understand what exact spin is required on the cue ball to make both type of shots work. So the one where you're coming into the line and the one where you're crossing the line. And yes, I'm wearing my GoPro, but I'm not showing you yet what spin I'm using because this is basically what this lesson is all about. So let me play the one where I'm coming into the line first, and you will just watch the cue ball's reaction after I made contact with the 7 ball. And as you can see, the cue ball comes really nicely into the line and I almost have a perfectly straight shot on the 9 ball. So I would always take that kind of shot on the 9. And the big question is, if it's that easy to come into the line, why didn't Shane just play this shot in the first place? Let's imagine a tangent line. So this is the ghost ball. And if you just now follow the tangent line, this means you're playing a stop shot with no forwards or backwards rotation, just a sliding cue ball basically. Then the cue ball will always follow the tangent line. And the tangent line pretty much goes to here, I would say. So let's verify that and see if we're playing a stop shot, if the cue ball actually goes towards here. And now I'm showing you what spin I'm using on the cue ball. So just a bit below center, it depends a bit on the speed, but the most important thing is that the cue ball slides on impact. And yes, this looks nice. So the prediction of the tangent line was pretty nice. And this is almost a nice shot on a 9 ball. If I hit a bit softer, the cue ball stops here, then I have a straightened shot. But this is not what you want to do because obviously you're trying to go into the line of the 9 ball. So if you're playing it that way, then once again, you're just dependent on speed control. So this means you should know now, okay, if I'm playing a stop shot following the tangent line, the cue ball goes to here. So in order to make the cue ball hit the rail here, there is some forwards rotation required on the cue ball. But the problem is if I'm just now rolling the ball in or playing a follow shot, then of course the cue ball is going to hit too early here, and this shot almost looked like the one Shane played. So this also isn't the way to play it. And this is where the problem becomes visible in this shot, because in order to hit a specific point on the rail here, when you aren't able to just play a stop shot and you aren't able to just play a follow shot, you need to play a kind of stun, run through, stun, follow shot. This means you have to play it like a stun shot, but have a bit of forward rotation on the cue ball. This means you need to hit a bit higher on the cue ball, and only if the cue ball has the exact amount of forwards rotation, then the cue ball is going to hit that exact point on the rail. Now imagine you have less forwards rotation, then the cue ball is going to travel more into this direction and the side pocket becomes risky. If you're having more forwards rotation, then the cue ball is going to hit a bit more here. And this is why this shot is so tricky and so much more difficult to execute, because there is only one amount of forward rotation, very, very important to exactly bring the cue ball to here. So let's give it a try, let's evaluate. So maybe if I'm just hitting a center ball and I'm just playing it like I would play a stun shot. As you can see, I want to stroke it, I don't want to roll it. And all of a sudden we have, yeah, that's a nice shot on a 9 ball, I would say. Maybe a touch of right spin opens the angle, maybe just a bit lower on the cue ball. But this is exactly what I mean, why this is so difficult to execute, because you are just so dependent on having that exact amount of forwards rotation on the cue ball. Now, on the other hand, if you're looking at Shane's shot, this is so much easier because Shane just played a rolling cue ball, and a rolling cue ball, especially with that angle, if you're having follow, always goes kind of into that direction. So you can definitely predict where you're going to hit here. So it's way more natural to understand where the cue ball is going to hit compared to bringing it exactly with the stun, run through, follow type of shot exactly towards here. So let's give it a try. Just play it with high. Maybe a trace of right spin if you want to. You can see cue ball goes to here. And yes, I'm completely crossing the line, but this is a very, very nice shot on a 9 ball. And it's just so much more predictable because it's more natural. You don't need that pinpoint stroke. You don't need that pinpoint forwards rotation. And even though you're crossing the line, as you can see, let's play it once again and analyze the area where you can actually end. A bit too short, but still I have a very, very nice 9-ball. And the reason for that is, you can see this is the straight line. If the cue ball comes from here and it stops here, I still have a nice shot on a 9-ball. This is perfect, and if the cue ball stops here, well, I still have a nice shot on a 9-ball. So you can see I have this whole area here for the cue ball to stop, even though I'm crossing the line. Of course, a very, very common mistake is if you're trying to get too close to the 9-ball. So I'm playing the same shot, just going to hit a bit below center or a bit lower now and use some more right spin. So another follow shot, but more like this. And you can see now the cue ball travels closer to that line of the 9-ball. So the closer you're trying to get to the 9-ball, this was perfect by the way, but the closer you're getting, as you can see, here is horrible, here is horrible, here is good. It's all the way good to here. So the closer you're trying to get to your ball, you can see the smaller the area actually gets. So if you're trying to go for the 9-ball into this pocket, stay a bit further away from the 9-ball, because as you can see, this is way too close and your window is just a bit smaller compared to being further away. Of course, the further you are away, here the angle is nice on the 9-ball, here the angle is nice on the 9-ball, but you're just too far away, so try to find a healthy amount of distance to the 9-ball. So let's play it one last time, see if I can nail it this time once again, but 2 out of 2 times we nailed it so far. So once again, a high touch of right spin if you want to. And even though this is a bit short, this is a shot that Shane definitely should get, and that I hopefully also get. And this happens not only in this specific situation, but very, very often. That you sometimes sacrifice your positional play principles by making just the execution and the stroke and the shot making part just a bit easier. And just, I think yesterday I played a match where I came up with something very, very similar. Let me show that to you real quick. So I was playing 9-ball, it was an actual match, and I think it was something like, what's the right cue ball? It was something like this. So usually, if you're playing that shot, you should use some inside spin, come nicely into the line. So play it like that. And then the cue ball comes nicely into the line of the 9-ball. But in this specific match, at this specific stage of the match, I really didn't feel the shot and I was uncertain if I can actually accomplish that. And I was just afraid of missing the shot. So instead of playing the right type of shot where I'm using inside spin, I just tried to come down directly. And yes, this is also possible, but you're not coming that nicely into the line. I have a bit more difficult shot on a 9-ball, but at least I didn't miss that 7-ball, and this is what it's all about. So don't always try to follow strictly all the positional play principles there are. Sometimes just decide what feels right for you, what is easier to execute, what guarantees that you're making the shot.